Well, good morning. This is what it looks like first thing in the morning. Well, not first thing. I've had some tea. Been outside, sat in the fresh air, and decided to focus on my day. So now I gotta put some makeup on. I have to. Otherwise, if a neighbor comes by, I will frighten them. There's no sense in all that, right? Thank you for joining me. So, what would I like to talk about today? Now that I have some company, I would like to talk about the screw tape letters. Who was it who wrote those? Was it Orson Welles? I'm not sure. Dang, I can't believe I forgot. I'll have to look it up later. So anyway, screw tape letters. The reason why they're important is because, or that, the book, oh wow, it can really, when something happens in life or through, physical experience or through a reading, and you don't share it, I just feel like it's energy in there, kind of like even negative energy that just needs to get out. And I just feel like the screw tapes is kind of like that. It's like it kind of simmers and then starts to bubble and boil, right? And then it needs to express itself. That steam has to go somewhere. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of makeup for a day off. Anyway, I decided I am staying in my most comfortable sweatshirt today, my most comfortable bottoms, socks, and Uggs. The screw tape letters remind me that, sometimes we think we get along, away with a lot. And, it gets to where, for me, it gets to where it's like micro sins. It's not even like big stuff. And it's so easy to deny. Just like embarrassing someone and then saying, oh, I was just joking, right? That kind of thing. And if you want to call it ethical or sin or, whatever you want to do, that's fine. But some people really minimize that kind of behavior. But what it's really saying is, I would rather you feel insane than admit I messed up, I lost control of my ethical standards and decided to make fun of you or put you down, to embarrass you, to humiliate you, to make you feel bad about yourself. And I'm sorry. I apologize. Geez, that's the last thing I want to do. That would be appropriate. But instead, before we get right with ourselves and our universe, we would rather make the person feel insane. Make them question themselves, their reality. And even if they call you on it, you're going to deny it, right? So then the line is, how far are you willing to take it? Some people are willing to take it so far, like saying, well, nobody else has a problem with how I joke around or talk or blow it way out and say, nobody else has a problem with my personality. Like, wait, how did we get from me feeling attacked to you feeling attacked on that same level? It can be crazy making. Some people call it gaslighting. They'd rather you feel insane than just apologize. So if you want to know, I mean, seriously, when people talk about sin, a lot of times they think of either something way over the top or things that are very clean cut, like theft, murder, lust, cheating. When in all actuality, some of the sins are very subtle and quiet, very sneaky. Very sneaky. And that's what I'm talking about today. If you want to do some work on yourself, step it up just for fun. You're on this planet one time, at this time, in this body. So what are you going to do with it, right? Why not explore, experiment, play around? Why not? Here's the ridiculous part, is there are a lot of people who have a lot in their lives to be happy about. And yet, they still want to mess with other people's reality. I mean, to be so wealthy, so secure, if they never worked another day in their life or earned another penny, they would have enough. Even if their investments quit making money, they'd still have enough if they were smart. So why do they do it? Why do they keep messing with people? People get bored. They get bored. And so they look for adventure. And people who have a high anxiety gene, which usually, it's nature or nurture. Some people are born with it, but some people it's created because they were born to an addicted parent, a high anxiety parent who acted out and created a certain pattern of behavior, right? Very easy to do that with young children. Yeah. So when that happens and they have a brain that is pre-programmed for self-doubt, anxiety, but addictive behavior, then what you have is someone who, so if one drug isn't doing the trick, someone who has an addictive pattern will keep looking for something that's going to make them as high. And if they can't find something that's going to make them as high, they'll do more, a lot more of what they've already done, hoping it will give them that high. Right? Okay. And they will choose that high over human relationships, morals, whatever you want to call it. So one of the deals is, here you have, let's say, I'm not going to name any names, of course. I haven't done that so far. Hope I don't ever slip up and do that. But somebody please let me know as soon as possible if I do that, because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But there are people who, for instance, have all this sex craving. They're so bored with their life that they're always looking for that next step of excitement. So sex isn't just sex anymore. They can't just have more normal-ish sex. They have to keep upping the ante. It can't just be normal BDSM, right? It can't be just normal kink. And normal means, in a range that most people stay within. They have to keep upping it. So when they get an opportunity to try another level, then it gets more and more dangerous. And we have had people who have accidentally died from asphyxiation or had to get arrested for underage stuff. So when we find out that this is this next level where I was talking about earlier about our own, looking at our own sin, our own personal ethics, even if we don't do something big and wrong that anybody can put a label on and stamp it, it's letting the list of perpetrators disappear. I don't know. That's interesting. What kind of person who knows they're responsible for some of this disappearance of something that's very important? Because if it was your kid, maybe you would be able to wrap your mind around it a little bit better. That just disappeared and somehow became a part of this underground situation that I'm talking about. Any underground. I'm not picking on anybody in particular. I'm just saying, how does that person sleep at night? Not the actual big perpetrator, the one that you can stamp on, approval. This, I agree, this is sinful. But what about the kind of like the gaslighters, right? The ones that say, oh, oops, I don't know what you're talking about. Oops, that's been resolved. Why are you still complaining? That's what I'm talking about. People who would rather you shut the hell up about your pain. Oh, man. Rather you feel like you're crazy. Was that resolved? Really? Is that how we resolve that? You mean it's over? Yes, it's over. That's done. We don't talk about that anymore. What do you mean I hit you or I raped you? Stop talking about it. It's over. Stop bringing up the past. Oh, am I crazy for wanting to be heard? For wanting answers? For wanting a real apology? Oh, man. So with the screw tape letters, gosh, I hope everybody gets to listen to it. It's on tape. I mean, I listened to years ago in my car, driving back and forth to work. Oh my God, I loved it. If you want to make a commitment in this world, some people want to, make their epitaph say, oh, this person worked really hard. Oh, they made lots of money. They donated lots of stuff. They built lots of houses for poor people. But were they honest? Were they brave? Did they sacrifice their own comfort and entertainment for truth? Yeah, some sin is very sneaky. I wish I had a better word for it other than sin. But I believe that if you cause someone so much pain that they start to doubt their sanity or their existence, they start to doubt the truth. Oh, I call that a sin. Some of us don't know we're doing it sometimes. I remember being young and using some of those tools, some of those defense mechanisms. Oh man, I'm sorry. There have been some people I've hurt, and weirdly, when I came out of my addiction, some of the memories that I've had that have surfaced were out of the blue. I had a memory not too long ago, and now I don't know how to get a hold of that person, and I would love to give them a good apology, maybe even send them a gift, you know what I mean, to let them know, hey, I had this memory and you were right. I was an insecure, self-centered, scared person looking for comfort and validation, and I used part of his story to get comfort. I said something I shouldn't have said. I gave a secret away in a moment of pain, trying to get comfort from another friend, and I changed his life by telling a secret, and I'm truly sorry. I did not, in this situation, gaslight him. I was acting out in my own fears and insecurities and causing pain. My issue is I truly was not gaslighting him. When he confronted me with it, I couldn't remember. I evidently had been loaded for too long for my short-term memory to really be working well. And so I didn't remember this situation, but I remembered it out of nowhere 30 years later, 30 some years later, which was just a couple months ago. Tried to find his information but couldn't, so I could apologize. And if he ever gets to see this, I'm going to apologize. So be careful. Know what it is that you're doing. Google defense mechanisms. If you're gaslighting, get some therapy, talk to a friend about it, someone who can catch you at it and correct you. Talk to your loved one that you're doing it to so you can have some help correcting it. Be willing to be open-minded enough to hear it. If you're not gaslighting but you're acting out of insecurities, that's something different too. So think about what you're thinking about. Think about what you're doing. Well, thank you for listening. What a day. Yeah. Well, I'm going to quit thinking deep for a while and go watch some feel-good movies. I hope you're going to have a lovely day and know that I care. I care. All right. Bye for now.